Well, folks, here again for the weekly forecast, and unfortunately we have a pretty significant weather event that's going to occur over this weekend and into the early part of next week that could cause some significant problems across a good portion of south central, southeast Nebraska, and potentially areas to the north of here. But before we get to that main forecast, during this last week, of course, it kind of played out as the models predicted. We did see a system come through on Tuesday, generate a little bit of precipitation in eastern Nebraska in the form of rain that fell on very cold surface and caused some localized icing events, particularly in the residential areas. And as that system shifted eastward, we've seen some significant snowfall start to develop across Iowa and points up into the northern Great Lakes region. This system coming out is much stronger, and unfortunately we were looking at more significant icing with this event. So let's get right to the models, and as we go right to the models, we'll notice here's that big upper air low that we talked about last week, and it's going to rapidly move over the next 24 hours up to into a position that's going to start drawing warm air into our region. So here we are as we go into tomorrow morning. Here comes this system, and you'll notice by the time we get to Monday, it's going to move all the way up into portions of Illinois, and that'll wrap that cold air around. So at the surface, we're going to have cold air. Above layers warm air, and that's going to create some icing. And then we see the deep penetration of that cold air as it moves to the south, and we start to see a gradual easing of that cold air as we get into the middle of the week as yet another system comes on board from the western United States, and that's going to push some warmer air into our region. And it looks like we have the potential to once again repeat this as yet another upper air low is poised to draw copious amounts of moisture up into our region as we get into this weekend. Now the models are kind of divergent on the solution of this, whether this is going to come out as one big unit or it's going to come out in several pieces, but they are indicating that the period between next weekend and about the 23rd look to be very inclement in terms of another additional precipitation event. So let's look at how this precipitation is going to unfold. As we go through today, this moisture is going to start sliding toward the north, and by tomorrow it's going to enter in southern Nebraska with very heavy precipitation over Kansas. And as it goes northward on the backside, we may see some snow, but I think a lot of this is going to be ice based on the warm temperatures. Clears out as we get into Tuesday. Pretty benign conditions as yet another system that we were talking about starts to make its way down the western United States coast, and eventually will start to make its impact into the central plains as we get into Friday. We'll start to see the system generating itself down into northern New Mexico to the southern Arizona region, and then this will eject out as we go into next week and creating the potential for more significant weather. Now, in regards to this system, essentially the warm air is going to be aloft, and the cold air at the surface, regardless of how much precipitation there are, is going to probably freeze on contact with this rainfall. And the total precipitation output has increased dramatically. We're looking at, from the beginning of the week, a ½ an inch of moisture has now in southern Nebraska been increased to between 1 and 2 inches of moisture. And if this freezes on trees, we're going to have some significant power outages and travel problems. So pay particular attention, stay off the roads, get where you need to go on Saturday. It's going to turn ugly on Sunday and Monday. Now, in terms of next weekend and the following Tuesday, we start to see the warm air increase with that trough coming in from the west. And in terms of precipitation, as that system ejects out, we're looking at a substantial area of the northern United States that is going to see significant moisture as we move into next weekend.